What's up, otakus? It's Friday night, just hanging out. Oh, it was a long week. Um, I guess right before the holidays, it just gets really busy. People are trying to kind of close out the quarter and get work done before the holidays, and so it was a busy week, but we managed. We got through, and we're looking forward to this weekend, and then a long weekend, Thanksgiving weekend next week. So yeah, I just kind of motoring through what's left of 2023. Um, this year was a big year for comics. Actually, I don't know how much you know how many comics will actually pick up next year. Um, we'll just have to see. Uh, my sort of overflow box is really full, and I'm trying to trade that stuff away. So, I mean, I will really give you a good deal on my overflow box. Um, I want to say I have a little over a short box full of books, mostly keys. Um, I mean, not major keys, but minor keys. Um, got a lot of $10, $20 books in there, and I just kind of, again, if I can get a book that I want, a Jim Lee book, a Peach Momoko book, Brian Boland book, I am willing to give you like 10 to 1 trade, right? I just want to get rid of these things, so I don't mind giving you more value, um, as long as it's something I want. And I mean, even if it's not something I like desperately want, if it's a Jim Lee book that I don't have, or if it's like a key book from the X-Men or Fantastic Four or Wonder Woman or um, Wolverine runs that I'm trying to collect. These are like Copper Age, right? Copper, sort of early modern. If you have any of those books, what's up, Kenneth? Send me an offer, man. I'm gonna be posting up. I'll probably do a live video on what I have in this box so you guys get a good sense. It's drastically different from the last video I uploaded. A lot of the same ones are in there, but a lot of the ones, some of the ones in that previous video have been traded away. So I'll update what's in this box. Um, and I need to go kind of sift through it myself. I had to take a lot of books out of my current uh, filing cabinet, which is sort of the boundary of my personal collection. And if it falls out of there into this box sort of represents stuff I'm trying to get rid of, or um, not have that overflow. And what I'm finding is, you know, what was in the what was previously in the filing cabinet that I thought, no, I want to keep this, I want to keep this. With more books coming in, I'm having to make that calculus. So, like, okay, I'd rather have this book than this book. And even though I want both books, it's like I don't have space for them. So I eventually have to weed out things, including Jim Lee, like doubles and triples. Like, I realize I can't just start, collecting like that, or else I'm not going to have room for other stuff. So there's a lot of Jim Lee triples and doubles in this give. I don't want to say giveaway box, but the trade box, and yeah, um, I am down to make some deals. So I've done some pretty nice deals recently, and I love doing comic book trades. It's fun to just kind of message guys and show pictures and tell them what I think the grades are. And I am transparent about the grades. If a book's not, if it's a book has an issue, I will let you know it has an issue. So don't worry about that. But again, I'm going to try to give you as much value as I can. I'll probably throw in some extra books just to, get the deal going. But send me some offers, and we'll do it. All right. So this video is a fun video. Now it's unclear where the challenge originated, but I believe Metarog initiated this really fun list, and it's basically the top 10 yellow covers in your comic book collection. And so he issued a challenge, and it's been floating out there. I've watched Fanboy Prime's yellow cover video. I've watched Trev the Shipping Groo's yellow cover video, Metarog's, obviously, and most recently, Nowhere Bound. Nowhere Bound had a really awesome Daredevil cover, which now is on my want list. It's I don't know what the number is, but it's where Daredevil's like all these arrows are coming, and he's sort of like swooping down into this sea of arrows that are shot at him. What's up, Miss So? How you doing? So I thought it was a really cool cover, and I that's a cover I've been meaning to get. But when I saw it on Nowhere Bound's video, I was like, man, it just was like, that's a really nice cover and book. So I instantly put it on my radar. But yeah, I'm going to go through my list of books, and we have a little bonus section as well. Now, I do want to mention that there's no Jim Lee books on this top 10 list. Normally, you see on my lists, they usually end with like a Jim Lee book, or they end with, some kind of, if it's not the top book, it's usually among the top books, right? And it's not like Jim Lee doesn't have books out there. I mean, this isn't a Jim Lee cover. This is actually, I believe, her name is Karen Barta. Karen Barta. She did the cover on this one, but it's Jim Lee's first, right? And again, nothing wrong with this cover. It's a great cover, but I just don't feel like it's like my top yellow cover. And then we actually have a Jim Lee cover art here on 53, also a yellow cover. Interesting how Alpha was putting out yellow covers at this juncture. But I don't think this is like Jim Lee's best work. His first cover art, and it's not bad, but it's just not. It's not like what we're accustomed to seeing in terms of his art. Cover art. So again, these are. I don't necessarily think these reflect. Are representative of something I put on my list. Yeah, no Jim Lee. No Jim Lee. It's blasphemy. But again, this list has a lot of other great books, so I'm going to get into my list now. These are the top 10 yellow covers in my collection, and then we got a bonus section. Another thing I didn't include in this yellow cover list are reprints, facsimiles. I just feel like, as great as reprints and facsimiles are, it's not the actual like comic book. So I mean, if I actually had this book, this would probably be among the tops on my list, right? Like ASM was 150 on 129, and then ASM 121. I think Roger showed this one off on his yellow cover. These are both great John Romita senior books. Definitely great yellow covers. I mean, this is kind of like the standard you want to keep for a yellow cover, right? Like this kind of great dynamic artwork. So, but again, these are facsimiles. These aren't really the real thing. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I know Trev and Fanboy, they showed facsimile, like Superman 1 reprints and stuff, and that's fine. I just wanted to not put those on my list, and just go with like books that are the original books. So here we go. All right, now we'll start with number 10. It's Daredevil 181. Great cover here. This is Frank Miller. Frank Miller cover 181. This is the death of Elektra. Nice yellow cover there. Get us started. And number 9, we've got. This is just now. It's a yellow cover, but the interior is like Wolverine fighting Silver Samurai. So we don't get the full artwork in there, but it's just this die cut cover. This is my signed copy. Now, with this book, I am planning to get 3 signatures on this book. I have 1 of 3 already. Larry's in there. I'm trying to get Mark Silvestri's signature, and then on the back, the Wolverine pinup on the back by Jim Lee. We want to get Jim Lee's signature. So hopefully, at the end of this book's life cycle, it will have 3 of my favorite creators of all time signed into the book. Yes. Yeah, Miller's Daredevil run is, I mean, it's basically Frank Miller, right? Kind of dark and gritty and very, very real. It's he's dealing with a lot of sort of, just how how insidious crime and the crime mindset can be, and just a lot of all the sort of trials and tribulations of Matt Murdock, having grown up in that environment and seeing violence and seeing how that has impacted his family. It's a great run. I really think Frank Miller's best work is with Daredevil. I know he's obviously his Batman and his Batman works are noted as classics as well, and they are. But I just feel like that what he's doing in Daredevil kind of was similar to what he's brought to Batman in terms of that tone, but it initially was with this run, this uh, great story and romance, really romance and tragedy. Um, really beautiful book. All right, so Wolverine 50 is number 9, and this next one is just a beautiful yellow cover. I mean, this really could have been number 1 in terms of artwork and all that. And that is GI Joe 38. We've got this Destro, beautiful Destro cover. Why is my computer creating a reflection? There we go. Destro Storm Shadow face off here. This was signed and sketched by Larry Hama. Love this cover with the Arashikage tattoo there. That is number 8. Beautiful Mike Zeck cover. Awesome. One of my favorite books. All right, this next cover is, I showed you some John Romita Sr. goodness there through the facsimiles. This is my copy of Amazing Spider-Man 89. Doc Ock cover from like 3, just, telling, we've got panels here telling the story. Really, really interesting cover. Is you typically don't see like panel lines on a cover, but on this one I feel like just creates these long sort of, it elongates sort of the frame and the action, and it just creates this tension of, oh, he's really high on this building. So yeah, just beautifully done. Master, Master we lost earlier this year. Rest in peace. We miss you, Pops. Beautiful cover. All right, moving right along, we've got Green Lantern, Neil Adams goodness. This is Green Lantern, what is it, 78, with a date stamp. This one actually is, it looks great. It looks great, but it is a detached cover. And I think Roger did his best to kind of like attach remnants of it, but and press it kind of. But I believe it. I mean, it didn't get anywhere with the attachment, so it's still technically detached. And Roger cleaned and pressed it, so it looks really. There were like water stains and stuff. He got those all out. It really looks beautiful, and he preserved that date stamp, which I'm really grateful for. It's just a small stamp right there at the top. But yeah, just nice classic Green Lantern cover by another master, Neil Adams. Great work right there. Sticking with Neil Adams, we've got this beautiful Superboy cover. Now there's like it looks like someone, it's just a crease, but it's like, looks like a knife, like someone had was like doing unboxing something, and like the knife ran through the book or something, and I don't know if you can see it through here, but if you look right here, you should see like a gash. Let's see if it, well, maybe you won't be able to see it. It's right there. I can see it clearly, but you probably can't. But yeah, Superboy 161. This is also a Neil Adams cover, and I just like it because it's like, here you have a young Clark Kent, obviously not wanting to be Superboy or Superman anymore. Um, some dramatic tension there. You got uh, a nice view of Smallville as well. Um, Neil drawing up a nice backdrop of I would say like it looks like a nice suburb. It's not a small town for sure. It's a nice suburban landscape, 60s. Green Lantern, yeah. I wish I had. I wish I had started collecting in the Bronze Age. Actually, um, I just feel like you know, the stories from the Bronze Age were just not to say my collecting era didn't have its share of great stories, but I just feel like as a kid, right, collecting comics probably would have been like cooler. It was just a cooler age to, I think, um, like it was fun. It was fun. It was kind of dealing with a lot of like social issues and topics as well. And definitely a segue into the Copper Age. So I don't know. I just feel like if I were a little older and enjoying those books from the 70s, it would have just transitioned nicely into the 80s and 90s. Like, I just regret not having access to all that good writing and artwork from the Bronze Age. There's a lot of just really quality quality work. Yeah, yeah. You know, I can understand why Naman Young um, collects the Bronze Age. There's just a lot of value, and I was surprised. Like he was picking up a lot of Bronze Age, like $1, three. I mean, at those prices, like I should really focus on picking up more Bronze Age stuff. Now I'm trying to pick up Silver Age stuff at those prices, like around the $3, $5 mark. But maybe we should just focus on Bronze Age. I mean, if I could just get like two or a long box of Bronze Age books, just separate, like keep it just under my bed or something. Um, I wouldn't mind doing that, uh, or even Copper Age. I should just stick to Copper Age because that's kind of where my heart is. So I mean, it's something we'll figure out as we. But I definitely would love to pick up more Bronze Age books. I haven't really focused on Bronze Age books up to this point, but I see its value and it's definitely really cool. All right, this is a book that was on, I believe, many of the lists um, of the videos I saw, and that is Superman #1, Volume 2, #1. Great John Byrne cover, sort of a retake on Italo, and yeah, got Superman struggling there. Beautiful yellow cover. So this is actually one of my favorite books. Um, I love this Volume 2 run. I honestly think like it doesn't get enough respect. And I think it largely stems from the fact that Superman doesn't get a lot of respect. Uh, and I hope that really change. I'm starting to kind of see that narrative change online. Like, I don't know, maybe it's my algorithm or something, but I see a lot of Superman posts and positive Superman posts. It could be my algorithm, but I really hope it's it becomes sort of a. I really hope that the new Superman film brings back the glory of Superman. Um, I mean, because like I know Henry Cavill won over a lot of fans, um, but I didn't. I wasn't impressed with that movie. It wasn't like it. It didn't do the best like representation of who Clark and Superman are. Right. It just um, kind of took this other angle. It relied heavily on like special effects, and the story was kind of out there. I mean, I liked Zod as a villain, but it was kind of out there. I just really hope they change it. I know. I really actually have a lot of faith in James Gunn, and I think he's going to do a spectacular job with Superman. Um, and I just really want. I'm excited for that, and I think Gunn knows he has to kind of go back to the roots of Superman, like that golden age image of him. Like bring that golden age um, magic of who the character is to the modern day, because that's what they did with the '78, the Christopher Reeve movie. They brought that golden age, that classic age, to the '80s, and I think if he does that with this film, literally spanning almost 100 year like interval between that golden age debut to a new century, right? A new millennium. It will be, yeah, it will just do the character justice and really speak to our values as an American culture, right? I really hope to see that. What's up, Brafast? Snyder's Universe almost sleeping like an elf. Yeah, yeah, I agree. You know, um, and not to say it was bad, but again, it was heavily reliant on CGI. I guess all films are heavily reliant on CGI, um, but it like the tone of it was a little darker. I didn't like what they uh, did with sort of his origin story, right? Like it. Um, he seemed angry. Superman seemed angry throughout most of the movies. So I don't know. It just doesn't seem like that's who Superman would be. Yeah, me too. I like Cavill. I like the look of Cavill. I can't say I liked him as like an actor playing the character of Superman, but I did like the look. He had the physique definitely too. But yeah, if you ask me, it's a hard role to fill because of the standards set by Christopher Reeve, right? Every Superman after Christopher Reeve has had to like live under the shadow of that brilliant portrayal. So it's a hard character to play. Um, I know there's a new, WB series, um, and I've watched a couple episodes. Not that it's bad, but it just feels like it has that WB kind of feel to it. Um, but what started that whole the WB DC television phenomenon was Smallville. And I think if there's anybody who came close to filling or coming out of Christopher Reeve's shadow, it was Tom Welling. And I'm mad that they didn't give Tom Welling a movie. He had an opportunity early on. Nothing against Brandon Routh, right? But they came out with a Superman movie. I believe it was 2000. I want to say 2003 when they came out with that movie. I enjoyed that movie. That was actually a good movie. But they could have easily put Tom Welling in that movie, right? I think Tom Welling would have been great. But yeah, they didn't. He just kind of did 10 years of Smallville. And then that was that, you know. We didn't get to see Tom Welling as Superman or go on to be, the character and all that. It kind of just ended with him and Lois getting married and all that. And you know, implicitly transitioning to that, like, in your mind, like that's what's going to happen, right? But never got to see it full, uh, fully realized. All right. My next is a beautiful comic book. It's a Kurt Swan cover. And yeah, I just love this cover. It's a great yellow cover as well. Purple Superman lettering. Just a great. Um, this is an early Bronze Age book. Early Bronze Age Superman. You got Superman 226. Superman as King Kong with Lois, Lois in his hands there on top of the Empire State Building. Just a beautiful, you know, backdrop of New York City. Got some action going on, a lot of emotion in Superman's face, and then you got Lois kind of setting up the scene of this book. Red Kryptonite has turned him into King Kong. All right, so that was number 3. So the top 2, I'm going to get to my top 2. Number 2 on my list is John Romita Sr. Goodness here. Spider-Man 56. This is my favorite Doc Ock cover in the collection, and I picked it up this summer. I got it from my boy Ethan at Destiny City Comics in Tacoma. He had actually had this at a great price, and I was just really curious because it was such a great price. I was like, what's really wrong with the book? Well, it's not a perfect book. It is attached. It's complete, but it's got chipping here at the corner, and it's just really ragged and kind of dirty. Like, if you look, it's definitely like cream pages for sure. But yeah, just one of our favorite covers by Romita Sr. here. I mean, that's just classic Doc Ock right there. The pose and the bowl cut. That is just classic right there. So was really happy with this pickup. And yeah, this is a yellow cover. If you look at the top here, it's all yellow. It's brown to the point that it doesn't pop as yellow, but definitely is a yellow cover there. One of my favorites. All right, so that's number 2. And the top yellow cover in my collection is this book right here. Superboy 10 from the Golden Age. And this is a nice yellow cover. It is, I mean, it's a Golden Age book, so it's weathered, but it's complete. Covers still nicely attached. It's just got a lot of wear here on the spine. There's some fading. Colors faded a little bit here on the corner here, the red part. But for the most part, it's beautiful. Beautiful piece of artwork. And yeah, I mean, I got this for about $150, or was it 220 or one? I gotta check the order. I think I paid 150 for this. It could be closer to 250. Maybe it was 220. No, I'm pretty sure it was 150. Because I just remember going, yeah, we got a great price on this. So I think I paid 150 for this. Um, but I'll have to check. It may be 250. But yeah, it was definitely a big purchase. This is the again just a early Superboy book from the Golden Age. Also, first appearance of Lana Lang, so just a huge book. This is my top yellow cover in the collection, and I'm just gonna put this back up here. There we go. All right, so those are the those are the top yellow covers in my collection, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to give you a little bit of a bonus. I thought, why yellow covers? I know a lot of people collect yellow covers, and there are a lot of great yellow covers, but I was just thinking, like, why not red covers or green covers, or my favorite, blue covers? So I prepared a bonus section, and I'm going to throw the challenge back out to the community. If you're watching this video, um, I want you to show off the top blue covers in your collection. Um, and it's definitely, I think blue covers are a little bit of a harder lift. And thank you. Yeah, it's my favorite color. I love blue. Um, it's a harder lift because I was looking through my collection and I actually had quite a few yellow covers. And when I started looking for blue cover books, that was a little bit of a harder challenge. I just realized it's not a typical, like, I don't think a lot of people use it. Um, Even though, it's the color of the sky and there's a lot you could do with a blue background, right? But I just think because it's so, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit too derivative to just have a blue sky background. Um, but yeah, they're just, again, you're probably going to run into more uh, covers that are alternate colors than blue. Um, so yeah, we're going to get into my list here of the top blue covers. And I only prepared top 5. So again, I couldn't find really 10 books with, like, really, I mean, if I really, really looked, I probably could have found enough books, but um, I just went with just the first couple I could find. And um, I am leaving this one off. It's technically not, I mean, you could make the argument it's a blue cover because it's blue on top of here, but it's not really a blue cover in the sense that like most of it is just characters and stuff. So I left this one off. I mean, it could have qualified for a blue cover, but I don't consider it a true blue cover. All right, so we're getting into these. Number 5 blue cover on my list. We've got a book I just picked up from Grit City for $1. That is Thundercats. This one will have Jim Lee. We got Jim Lee here on our number 5 blue cover. Yeah, hope you guys go and do your own blue cover lists. This next one is just one of my favorite Wolverine covers in the collection, and just a beautiful, again, the blue sky backdrop is on full display here. What makes this, I think, just really a nice book is that backdrop with Mount Fuji in the back. There's like sakura petals falling, and just Wolverine looking super badass with the sword and the claws. This is just a beautiful book by David Nakayama. I love it. When I saw this cover, I just had to have it. It's one of those like books like you see and you like, all right, that's just so cool. I gotta go out and get it. Exodus of Wolverine, number 3, the variant edition, DNA. Goodness. Sticking more with David Nakayama. I know David Nakayama is maybe a fan of blue, but we've got this. It's not a true. It's not a true. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not true. What's the word I'm looking for? I want to say reverse negative, but that's not what I'm trying to say. Anyway, it's where the colors bleed in, right? The cover. It's not a true book in that sense because you got the lines here delineating where her suit is from the background, but it has that same effect. I love this book. It's such a cool and sexy rendition of Psylocke here. She looks like she has a smile on her face. Generally, like, you see Psylocke, she kind of has this like unapproachable look, like, like, I will kill you to get away from me kind of look, like, don't talk to me. I'm not interested in what you have to say kind of look. But here she's kind of like, I don't know, maybe she has a smile on her face. He made her look nice. We love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love the hair there. Yeah. Amazing blue cover right there. All right, there. Next. This is just a masterpiece. And by another legend who we really lost too soon. And that's Wonder Woman 22. I love this cover as well. Just, like, represents everything, that you love about this character, right? Just Flying Through the Air. Beautiful George Perez cover. All right, what's up? What's up, Aiden? How you doing? Archie Sonic's comics are artwork are very cool. Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. He's a. I'm wondering, like, I didn't watch the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but I heard it was hilarious. I heard it's really funny. Um, I'm just wondering if, like, I don't know if Sonic, because when Sonic the Hedgehog came out when I was playing video games, it was just a hit. It was such a, came out on Sega, and it was just like Sega's um, main video game. And I'm just wondering now if it's like Sonic's. I haven't played any Sonic Hedgehog video games, but I would imagine Sonic's beyond the video game platform and kind of more pop culture. People are probably into the comic, and like it's its own thing now, an extension of the movie, right? Um, Rather than it being kind of bound by the boundaries of the video game. So I'm just interested to know what. Yeah, huge fan. So you're a fan of the movie or the video game or both? That's what I heard. Yeah, that's what I heard. I'm interested to check it out because obviously in the video game, it's a very sort of. I mean, it's literally two dimensional, but it's like a two dimensional. You don't get much depth in that character, but I'm sure in the movie, like they created an entire whole persona for Sonic. So interested to see how that played out. All right, getting to my number one cover. We've had a lot of great covers in this. I really enjoyed the yellow and blue cover. Um, and we're going to continue. This is my final blue cover. This is sort of like, I guess, it is a blue cover, but it's sort of a cheat. Um, but I just like showing this book off. Now, this book, we'll talk about this book. So, anyway, my top blue cover book is Wolverine '88, and it's a hot book. It's been a hot book since last year when they made the announcement that Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, was coming back for Deadpool 3. And instantly, like, we knew this scene was coming, right? Wolverine versus Deadpool, first meeting, the stabbing, the X stabbing over the head, blood dripping, all that. We're anticipating this scene, right? So I fortunately this was a trade. I got it in a trade. I got it signed by Larry this summer, signed and sketched by Larry this summer. Absolutely love this cover now. But I'm curious to get people's thoughts. You know, does this book have legs beyond the movie? I've seen a lot of people say, hey, don't get that book. You know, it's one of those books that's just gonna, once the movie comes out, it's gonna drop. Don't pay top dollar for this book. What's interesting is I was at Grit City and this guy was like, he had like three copies of this in his hand. They weren't near mint. They were, I would say between like VF fine copies. Definitely had issues. but they were selling for like $35 a pop. And again, these aren't high grade. They're like fine, in the fine range. They're not even VF copies because they had a lot of spine ticks, and yeah, um, 3 copies, 3 fine grade copies. And I asked him, hey, how much are those? And he's like, oh, these are 35 each. I'm like, are you gonna get them? He's like, I'm like debating it right now. And I was like, 35 for fine copies. That's kind of where I would say that's good value. I would say that's good value. But I think what was going through his mind was, so if I get these for 35 after the movie, what are they going to be? So like, where are they going to land after the movie? And um, while it's true, most books after they'll spike during the movie, and then after the movie they'll spike back down. Right? It's like they get pumped up for the movie, people are buying it, people are interested, and then boom, as soon as the movie comes out, it tanks. And so there's I would say if I wanted to pick up more copies of this, which I'm not interested in doing, I'm happy with this book. Um, I probably wouldn't pay 35 for the. I don't pay 35 for most books unless it's something I feel like I'm getting value in that purchase. But what I want to say is like, uh, I think there's a chance it could drop after the movie below 35 for those copies, and there's also a chance it could go higher than that. Meaning, and there are a lot of copies of this book. I don't think people have to worry about like, oh, like I have to get it now because everybody's gobbling them up. You're not going to be able to find them soon. No, you can go out and find this book. Um, it's just what price are you willing to pay for it? Interesting. Disney 2.0. This is the Disney buyout of Marvel. I have my thoughts as well. We can get into that, but um, yeah. So it really is comes down to where where is Deadpool going to, like, it really comes down to the success of Deadpool 3. Okay. If Deadpool 3 is a massive, colossal hit, which it's shaping up to be, um, I would go out and get this book now rather than later. Um, but if Deadpool 3 turns out to be a bomb, then I think, yeah, this book will tank and that'll be that, right? First Deadpool Wolverine won't amount to much in people's memory if it's a bomb. And there's a good possibility that the movie will bomb. But man, assuming Taylor Swift is in the movie, assuming Taylor Swift makes that cameo, okay, um, and assuming they bring back all the great characters from not only the last Deadpool movie, but the Fox X-Men, right? Talking about, Professor X, Jean Grey, all those great Fox X-Men characters. And add a multiversal layer of bringing the Gen 1 X-Men, the first class X-Men, and, bringing in other, like the Sony Spider-Man characters, and whatever they do with this movie, it's gonna have a lot of hype around it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna probably have some good action sequences. With Hugh and Ryan Reynolds, it looks like they've been working really closely on the choreography and all that. So, um, yeah, it stands to be, I think, like a hit movie. So, in that instance, I think this book is going to be um, it's just going to go through the roof. It's going to go through the roof because obviously, like first appearance of Deadpool, first appearance of Wolverine, these are already big books. The success of Deadpool 3 is not going to elevate those books any higher than what they already currently are. So the success of that movie is really a hinge on two books. The Dazzler, first Dazzler, that's going up. That's already like a $200 book. I think this one is currently near mint, is going around 200 as well. Um, I think what you'll see is if that movie is a real hit, it'll pump up that value because all of a sudden this is a book that collectors want. It'll be highly sought after, and the more things are highly sought after, the higher um, people who sell them will sell them for. And yeah, I think you're going to just get this market trend of people buying it, keeping it, and not wanting to resell it because of its kind of popularity. But again, there are a lot of copies. I would not go crazy in terms of selling, but yeah, if you can pick up a fine copy for 25, $30, I think that's a fair value for it. I would do that. If you can pick it up for less, more power to you. But I think right now where it's landing is like for fine copies, it's around 50. For really high grade copies, you're paying over 100 for, right, for these books. So hopefully you're not paying 100 for high value. I'm sure you could, if you're patient and you look long enough, you can probably find these books, like slabbed high grade versions of this book for about 100 or so. All right. What else is yeah, it's a beautiful book. Um, it's like this is one of those books, even without the movie hype, you should go out and get, um, because uh, it's the first battle between these two legacy Marvel characters, right? And like you said, great Adam Kubert art. I mean, it's the reds and blacks and the blue. It's just a beautiful, it's a beautiful image. As violent as it is, it's a beautiful image. Um, I guess that's all I have. I can kind of talk about. So as you know from my last video, I'm looking for classic X-Men 39. It's seeped into my mind, and I tend to kind of like obsess over things I want to add to the collection. And I went and looked for it at Belkirk Coin and Stamp, which is really my local. I say it's my local LCS because it's the closest. I don't want to say closest, but I feel like um, the best comic book shop closest to me. Um, but it's not the best in my region. So I mean, in terms of like going somewhere relatively close, picking up books, it would probably be the first place on my list. Only problem with this place is, I mean, they got a lot of, you can find a lot of value there, and they've got a kind of abysmal dollar bin section. They've got a 50 cent off section where, again, you could probably find some value there, but they've got a lot of comic books. Um, so I went there in the hopes of finding this issue, but again, not much classic X-Men there. And I'm dumbfounded as to why there's not more classic X-Men. I mean, it's one of those books that was just like, you know, mass produced, and they're dollar bin books, and they should be everywhere. But I'm having the most difficult time finding this book. So he didn't have it. He didn't have it. Um, he did have a very high grade copy of this book for $2.50, and I thought long and hard about it. Should I pick it up for $2.50? I've already got 2 copies of this book, um, and that copy is actually better than this one here that I have for sure. So I may go back and pick that up for $2.50. I just didn't want to pick up my 3rd copy of this, but it is high grade. I mean, it's not like 9.8 Canada, but it is high grade. For $2.50, I feel like that's a good deal. So I'll probably go back and pick up that book. But yeah, I'm really looking for X-Men 39. So in that spirit, I'm going to pick up this box here. It is a heavy box. Oh my goodness. It's a heavy box. Books for trade. All right, so I'm sure those of you in the chat, if you want to trade books, let me know. But you know, I know you're probably not here to trade or buy books or anything like that. But everything in this box is available for trade, and there's a lot of good stuff in here. So I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what's available, and really the fun part of trading for me is instant messaging each other on Instagram. So Instagram is if you want anything here, or if you're interested in trading, DM me on Instagram at Otaku Tour Guide, and let's get a deal going. Yeah, just again, what I'm looking for are Brian Bolland books, Jim Lee books, and Peach Momoko books. So if you have, let's say you have a Peach Momoko book, and it's a book I don't have, I will give you a lot of value for that book, assuming there's stuff in here you want. But I'm sure there'll be something that we can get going. And again, I'll give you a lot of value. I'll give up value for whatever you have, because I really need to just get rid of a lot of these, sell or get rid of a lot of these. Now, some of these books actually, I just found one that I don't want to trade or give away. For example, this one here, Terminator 2. This is the trade paperback of the miniseries. This is actually a nice book. I'm going to keep that one. But here, Batman Predator, first Batman Predator is available. That's a nice book. It's a $15 book. This book, this Spider-Gwen. This is a key. I don't know what makes it a key, but it's a key book. Looks like that is available. We've got Ghost Rider, Amazing Spider-Man, Mark Bagley. It's a nice Venom cover there. Got this great, these are Spawn keys, Spawn's Universe. Nice Todd McFarlane cover there. We've got this King Spawn #1. Those are available. I really like this cover. This is the official return of the black suit. Post-Venom separation comes back. Don't know the details of how it comes back, but I thought that was pretty cool when I picked it up. Got a really beat up Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's got some chipping. It's got a chip right on the top there. Other than that, it's low grade. It's a low grade copy, but key book there. What else we got? Oh yeah, this is a cool one. For those of you, Mighty Morphin Power. My kid, I showed him one. First of all, this Power Rangers, it comes from Japan. There's a Japanese whole series of these kinds of fighting, sort of transforming into big robot type characters. But yeah, he's really into Power Ranger stuff. So I'm not, but this here David Finch cover. This is signed by Kyle Higgins, who wrote the Shattered Grid, Boom Studios. This is, I think, a $50 book with a signature. I think probably more. Again, don't mind giving up value on this if it's for Jim Lee books. So send me those offers. Okay, cool. Are you talking about the Power Rangers book? Yeah, good stuff. Got books like this, Weapon X. I love this. This is another great Adam Kubert cover. The Age of Apocalypse, One-Handed Wolverine. Age of Apocalypse, Jean Grey. Jeez. That's a nostalgia right there. What else we got in here? Got these Saga keys. These are, I think, low print early Saga books. Got Saga Chapter 5, Saga Chapter 7. Okay, those are key for you Saga fans. What's we got? Got this great Doom #3. I think this is contains maybe the origin of Doom. I think this is a book. Okay, Excalibur 1. Great first issue. This is, I think, a $20 book as well. Maybe $15 book. This book here, I think I'll want to keep this book here. This is Star Trek Next Generation #1. This is the first appearance of Jean-Luc Picard and the whole crew of the Enterprise. So I think this, like, Data and everybody. So I think this one is just one I'll want to keep because I love Star Trek The Next Generation. I'm also this one's available. First appearance of Anna May Parker. But this book here, The Phantom Menace, I have actually all of these episode 1 photo variants, and I think I want to keep them. The photo, I know I recently on a post I said the photo variants were available, but I think I want to keep them. Or if I do sell them, I want to get fair value for those. Like, I'm not willing to give up value on those books, just because, first of all, they're immaculate. They're all 9A candidates, and it's just, for me, that episode 1. I just remember that time being a really positive time. You know, that movie came out like right before, like in '99. It came out in '99. I just remember it being a lot of good memories from 1999. So who knows? We might keep that one. This one's available. Black Cat. I think I showed it off on my Instagram. Captain America, Elektra, Mike Deodato Jr. cover there. That's a great cover there. West Coast Avengers, #1. That's the best condition. First All-Star Squadron. That's a nice one. Really beat up copy of First Ben Reilly, aka Spider Clone. Or Bounty Hunters. That's a cool book. This I think it's a 1 in 100, or there's only 2,500 copies of this book, I think. It's one of those rare ratio variants, or rare copy variants. First Avatar, Iron Man, Crisis. All of these are key books. So, most of these are key books. This is stuff people will like. This is the first. I think she's going to be in. This is a personification of the Danger Room. Or no, the Cerebro. Personification of Cerebro. First Cloak and Dagger. This, I think, will interest a lot of people. We've got Amazing Spider-Verse Part 4 and Part 5. That should be a set. You've got Punisher 1, Spider-Man, the final issue of Spider-Man. This is an interesting one. It's Wanted #1, but this is a Wizard World exclusive to like 5,000 copies of this one. We've got first Billy Morales. This could have fallen into my blue covers. Deadpool 1. I think this is volume 2. No, volume 3, sorry. This is volume 3. Got Nova #1. I think those are sort of some of the bigger ones from this aisle. We've got things like Nightwing. Nightwing's here. Got Love the Spider-Man. Okay. Here is where I have a lot of the overflow from my like things I've just pulled out of the filing cabinet. I reluctantly pulled out because, again, it's a space issue. It's like if I had space, I'd keep all of these, but because I don't, I just really had to, like, again, do that calculus. Do I really need this? Do I really want this in my collection, or is it something that's not really in my core PC identity? So again, a lot of great books in here. We've got like this. I didn't want to give this away, but 1602. We've got like this Patrick Gleason variant of X-Men 1, Infinity War 1 and 2, Ron Lim goodness. This Mike Grell Green Lantern, Punisher Warzone, John Romita Jr. goodness. This one I'll probably keep. This is from my original collection, and this is just Frank Miller goodness. I was talking about Frank Miller Daredevil earlier. That 90s miniseries just really captures what was great about the early Frank Miller stuff. Yeah, Sabretooth #1, Cable #1. This I'll probably want to keep as like a set. So if you want really high grade copies of this #1, yeah, these are really high grade copies. Let me know. What else we got in this? The goodies are in here. The good stuff like Jay Lee, Dark Tower, on Gen 13. On Gen 13. Star Wars Episode 2 photo variant covers. Count Dooku, Jango Fett, Darth Sidious. Marvel Zombies. If you're into Marvel Zombies, they're available. We got this beautiful Joe Madureira Trinity cover. That's just beautiful. House of X, Powers of X #1. Hybrid copies. What else we got? Boom, boom, boom. Adam Hughes, Betty and Veronica. That's a cool cover. Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot Wonder Woman cover. I did not want to trade that one, but I had to make that decision. All right, is this something we keep or something we try to give away? G.I. Joe number 63. But what's cool about this particular book is actually the back. We've got a preview of the Peter Parker wedding issue. I think that's just cool. Like, you got this great G.I. Joe book, and on the back you've got Romita Senior art, the wedding cover. So that's just, let me keep that one. I probably will keep that one. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, we've got books like this, Age of Apocalypse. I'm really banking on this coming to. I really think, Marvel has to really up the ante with the reintroduction of the MCU X-Men. And I really hope they go this route. I really hope they go the Age of Apocalypse route. That just makes so much sense to introduce it through that mechanism. We got some Transformers here. I think this is a key issue. This one's a key issue. Newsstand. VF copy right there. What else we got? We actually got some Jim Lee. I had to I don't want to, but I had to. Oh, we got this Venom. We got 2, 4, and 5 from the Venom Lethal Protector. All key issues there. Alright, so Jim Lee stuff. Again, I didn't want to get rid of my Jim Lee doubles and stuff, but actually, this is not a Jim Lee double. I'm keeping that one. Jim Lee's pencils on that one. Not pencils, Jim Lee inked that cover. Like Superman, this one got multiples of this one as well. Multiples of Wildcats. Multiples of Wildcats. X-Men 3. X-Men 1. X-Men, 2, what is it, 272. X-Men multiples of that. Multiples of Punisher, Spider-Man, Jim Lee, goodness. Oh, yeah, classic X-Men. I mean, I'd love to keep these classic X-Men. It's just that it's a space thing. Like, I love this book. It's Alpha Flight. It's reprint of my X-Men 120 first appearance of Alpha Flight. So it's just a classic book right there. And then we got Daredevils. Limited Junior Daredevils. This is I'm trying to look for that cover here. There's a really nice Daredevil cover. I think this is it. Nope. I think this might be it. Nope. Well, I guess I'm not finding it. This is Mazzucchelli cover there. Ah, there it is. Great. That's a yellow cover. That's a nice yellow cover, actually. Pretty cool. That's available for trade. I'm really wanting to trade these. Um, Simon Bisley Aliens cover there. That's another nice Aliens cover. You should probably get this as a set, right? Let's do that here. Marvel Saga, got some Keith Pollard goodness. So I'm really wanting to trade these. I'm fine to sell them, but the problem with selling them is I'd want a certain price for these books. Hey, what's up, Damien? How you doing? What's up, Agu? How you guys doing? So I'd love to sell these books, but I know the prices I would want to get them for. No one's gonna buy them for, and I could also sell them for really cheap. But then I don't know. It just kind of defeats the purpose. It's like I bought these books cheap. If I sold them cheap, it just doesn't feel like I'm getting anything for them. So in that instance, I just rather hang on to them. But again, in terms of a trade, I know I'm getting something I want. Um, you know, like in terms of like that's saving. Like if I look at it this way, like if it's a book that I probably will not run into in the next year or so, right? Like you have a book that you've bought, but for me to find that exact same book, I can either get it online and pay a lot for it, or run around and eventually run into it and look for it, right? So you're actually saving me a lot of legwork, which is added value, right? So not only is there the book value, but the value of if it's really something I want, right? Um, I'm not having to uh, put that work in to get it. If that makes sense. It's not just always about having money. It's also about doing all that work to try and find a book. Case in point, X-Men 39, right? I can go out and buy that book right now on eBay for probably get it for $5 and save myself some heartache and get the book. But I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna hold out for it to be an Unyoung book, meaning like, have it be $1 and or $1 or less, but just have it come in through that channel of not instant gratification kind of eBay purchase. Not to say those aren't bad. I just don't like to do it that way. Sometimes you're forced to do it that way on some books, like signature books and whatnot. But I feel like X-Men 39 is not. I mean, I've run across that book multiple times, and it's just now that I'm actually looking for it, it's nowhere to be found or seen. So sometimes it works that way. But yeah, again, got a lot of books here available for sale or trade. I'm probably going to do like a live stream again, where we go over like with a better like where I'm doing the live stream on my phone, and we'll go over what's in this box. And that way you can kind of think it does trigger in people, hey, there's something I want in that book, and I'll at least get a conversation going. Once we get a conversation going, I know we'll get close to a deal or trade. Now, I know a lot of people out there, they've got Jim Lee in their collection, and it's a book maybe they're willing to trade. They're not particularly, you know, bound or fond of Jim Lee books. So that's really where who I'm targeting in terms of this trade. Now, there's a lot of stuff here I know different collectors like and want. So it's just about matching your needs with my needs, and we'll get something going. And again, my goal is to get something I want, like one thing I want from maybe 5 things I don't want. Like I don't want it to be a situation where I'm like trading one book and getting 5 books, which is how my last couple of trades went down. I really want to like give up volume for quality, if that makes sense. And it could be like quality volume for quality, but the point is I want to rid myself of more books than what I bring in, and that's in anticipation of me continuing to get books. So like I don't feel good about bringing in more books unless I can kind of get this stuff out of the way. Otherwise, you know, first of all, I don't want to sell them. I really don't want to sell these. But at the end of the day, if these are just sitting with no one really wanting to, they're just sitting around with no one really wanting them, then I don't know, that's maybe my last option, to just donate them or sell them or maybe trade them at the comic shop. But I know the comic shop, again, does not give good value, at least not in my area. All the comic book shops in my area do not give good value for these kinds of books, and I get it. In their business, they need to make a margin. They need to know for certain they'll be able to sell these books and make their money back. So I get it, but that's why I hate selling to shops. They just don't give you a good deal. This is available as well as this is for those of you who are into Batman Adventures. This copy right here is a 9.8 candidate, super clean newsstand, and I'm telling you, 90s 9.8 newsstands, you're just not going to get them. I was like, this is a book. I was like, if I sent this in, it came back a 9.8, then this would be worth quite a lot of money. This Batman Adventures key newsstand, 90s newsstand. So that one is available as well. But yeah, that's kind of where we are with that. Just sitting here in my room, taking up space from the other, taking up space that we just don't like to see it on our floor. They're not organized, or I just wish I had more space. That's really the long and short of it, but I don't have that luxury. All right, well, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. It was a fun list. I went over my top yellow covers, and I'm putting out the challenge. Top blue covers. I covered the top blue covers, and I'm putting out the challenge. Show me your top blue covers in your collection. Yellow and blue, but just have fun with your collections. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you in the next one. Peace out.